The bell tower has struck once again. It is another morning in Xian. The city prepares to face another day of busy and hard work. It is quite quiet at the moment, but when 7 million people wake up, it will turn out like this. A metropolitan city with cars, people and bicycles swarming all over the place. With 7 million population, Xian has more people than the whole residents of Kuala Lumpur and Selangor altogether. However, right smack in the middle of the city, a small group of people has a life of their own. They are preparing to receive a large number of crowds during the day. Like a Chinatown built for Chinese in a foreign country, the Muslim street is the community center for Muslims who are living in the city. Halal food is widely available here, making it very convenient for Muslims. It is also a tourist attraction, where wide ranges of souvenirs are sold. It was all started when an old mosque nearby was opened for tourists and visitors. Walking a little deep into the bazaar, one will reach the Huaju Lane Mosque, better known as Ta Ching Chen Se, the Great Mosque of Xi'an. In ancient time, Xi'an was called Chang'an, meaning eternal peace. Established 3,100 years ago, it was Chinese capital for more than 2 millenniums. Tang Dynasty, the golden age of Chinese civilization, ruled from there. That time, Chang'an was the most populous city in the world, a superpower which can only rival by Baghdad, the capital city of Islamic Empire. The most renowned emperor ever lived in Xi'an is Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of China. He unified China in 221 BC and set up the Great Wall of China. Today's Xi'an is famous for his terracotta warriors, the guardian of his legendary mausoleum. Chang'an was also the starting point of the Silk Road. The famous trade route became the medium for cultural and knowledge transmission between East and West. Silk Road has brought Arab merchants to China.
Most time the history when we came to China, according to our history book record, the first time in 651 AD, and from the Khalifa Osman period.
A Muslim deputation led by the Prophet Sahaba has arrived at the court of Tang Emperor Kaosong in Chang'an. However, they didn't come through the Silk Road. They came in another way, the sea route.
الإسلام وصل إلى الصين في طريقتين، واحدة بحرية يعني البحر. أول الأماكن هي غوانجو حتى الآن يوجد مساجد هناك، حتى الآن يوجد قبر هناك، يعني يوجد مسلم من العرب.
Today's Xi'an was founded by the founder of Ming Dynasty, Emperor Hongwu. He enclosed the city with fortified wall as a defense measure, which is still standing today. The number of Muslims are also many.
In the city of Xi'an, the middle of a bell tower, across the east, west, and north, south. I mean, it's about northwest. Here, special area live a lot of Muslims.
While most of the people live outside the city wall and the suburban area, Muslims have the privilege to live in the middle of the city. But how can this happen? And why? Thanks to the Silk Road, the first mosque in Chang'an, the Great Tasushi Mosque, was built in 705 AD. 37 years later, a government complex was built nearby. It lasted for 700 years before it was almost destroyed by an earthquake. In 1392 AD, the founder of Ming Dynasty, Emperor Hongwu, instructed the complex to be rebuilt according to its original design. Later, he gave it to Muslims as a mosque. The size was doubled when another courtyard was added during Emperor Jiajing period. Huaju Mosque was extended for the last time in 1606 AD during the reign of Emperor Wanli, another Ming emperor. It reached its current full size and became the biggest mosque in Chang'an. Tashushi Mosque, the record holder for 900 years, has lost its title. Muslims has always got special treatment by the Ming emperors. A lot of them took part in the revolution against the Mongols. This contributed greatly to the founding of the Ming dynasty. Consequently, all the emperors of the Ming dynasty ordered Islam to be protected. Among the famous Muslims during Ming period was the great naval admiral Cheng He, also known as Cheng Ho.
And later mosque was enlarged, rebuilt several times, and especially from early Ming Dynasty. We look at this, we watch the wooden archway, the written 5 Chinese characters, and we read 赤祠礼拜寺. 礼拜寺 means mosque. 赤祠 means what? Means according imperial order. Means Chinese emperor granted this mosque.
After the final extension done during Emperor Wanli period, the length of the mosque has stretched to an incredible 264 meters long. It means that the area of the mosque has remarkably increased to more than 12,000 square meters, which is triple the size of previous extension. It is also 6 times larger than the size of the original complex built during the Tang period. Finally, Huaju Mosque has become a truly great mosque. The mosque gardens have a complete visual and auditory harmony. Everywhere you turn, you see balanced compositions of rocks, buildings and plants. The sounds you listen to are only birds chirping, away from the madness of city life. The serenity can make people to sink into great peace and relief. It is a paradise of harmony, calmness and tranquility. The mosque complex is separated from the outside world with enclosing walls. Making a journey to the mosque, a visitor will be greeted by a wooden memorial gateway or pai fang in the first courtyard. The second courtyard contains the 3 connected stone gateways. This will lead to the third courtyard, which contains the Bangkalu Tower. The fourth courtyard is the original imperial complex set up during the Tang Dynasty, containing the famous Phoenix Pavilion. After that, one will arrive at the moon platform before achieving the final and ultimate destination, the Hall of Worship. The whole splendor and majesty of the Great Mosque is gathered at the Hall of Worship. Architecturally speaking, the design is very strongly influenced by the Chinese architecture. However, it does have all the basic elements of a mosque. For example, the usual Feng Shui north-south alignment is rotated to allow the hall to face towards Mecca at the west.
Here buildings is quite different than Middle East. They are traditional Chinese architecture. We call it like a palace style, like a forbidden city.
We can see everything of a palace design in the mosque layout, a clear symmetry with strong axis, a series of courtyards and gardens, a big hall built on moon platform, zoomorphic ornamentation on the roof, and the 2 dragons carving at the ramp. As we know, dragon is an icon of the emperor and was solely used by him. Even though these animal ornamentations are actually prohibited in Islam, the design and construction of the mosque shows how Islam was highly appreciated by the emperor. Remained untouched for 600 years, the Great Mosque was declared as an important national, historical and cultural site in 1956. Later, the mosque was opened for visitors to come and visit. Thousands of tourists from local and abroad come to the mosque every day. There are tourists in every corner of the courtyards and gardens, even during praying time. However, there is one place remained exclusive for the Muslims, the Hall of Worship. The Hall of Worship can accommodate up to 1,000 people at a time. The minimal number of columns suits the hall function as the congregation praying area. Basically, the hall can be divided into three parts: the veranda, the Great Hall, and the Mihrab Hall. For the non-Muslims, only the veranda area can be enjoyed by the naked eyes. The remarkable entity of the veranda is the dugong bracket system. Letting 100 flowers bloom is the philosophy of roof design. The dugong brackets protrude like a bunch of flowers under the eaves. Every single bracket has a unique decoration. The Hall of Worship was built according to traditional Chinese construction. Timber beams, columns, and dugong brackets serve as the main support. The timber structural system formed a three-dimensional frame building whose external and internal walls were non-structural screens. The structural system, with its independent overriding unity and flexibility, was one of the outstanding characteristics of ancient Chinese buildings. The interior is also breathtaking. Stepping into the prayer hall, one will astonish with the wooden carvings of the full text of the Holy Quran placed along the wall. 600 ceiling panels were used to hide the roof structure, each decorated with different design. The Mihrab Hall holds the more spectacular scenery. In this hall, the whole mihrab is splendidly ornamented with carvings of beautiful flower motifs. Preserved from the Ming Dynasty, it is a superb artistic achievement, a product of high-skilled craftsmen. All this beauty is only to be enjoyed by those who come the earliest to the prayer, the most pious and the most God-fearing.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
The prayer has finished. Now it is back to business for the Muslim man. Outside, the moon platform serves as the base which the hall sits on. The height of the platform was a significant symbol of social position of the occupants in the Ming and Qing dynasties. At the mosque, the platform is used as the place of gathering. The comfort of the courtyard invites people to come early to the mosque. During prayer, it becomes the place to accommodate overspill of the congregation. It is also a social and meeting place after the prayer. At both flanks of the prayer hall, there are round-shaped moon gates which lead to the backyard area. Stone balustrades are placed along the platform perimeter, forcing people to enter only through the 5 cloud gateways provided. The main cloud gateway is accessed through a ramp. Here, a huge 2 dragons pattern relief is carved on the ramp floor. 3 lines made of stone emphasize the access towards the hall. It is said that by walking on the white line, a Muslim will purify his soul as a preparation to attend a prayer. Having survived for centuries, we are lucky to have the chance to witness a marvelous architectural achievement. The Great Mosque of Xian gives a unique addition to the already rich collection of Muslim architectural wonders. Standing proudly in the middle of one of the largest and longest civilizations in history, it shows a remarkable feat of Islam to be able to penetrate to the furthest land beyond its empire. Islam has shown that it can live well in the middle of alien surroundings, together with other races and nations. The Great Mosque of Xian is the proof.
Amen.